great pleasure to sit here today before you. This on behalf of the SMMG, the Supervisory Council, Board of Directors, Management, Staff, and indeed on my own behalf too. To earnestly express my heartfelt gratitude for this great achievement. A really great achievement. This achievement has allowed us to gather here today to witness the signing of this facility agreement with the commitments of the funding of the new General Hospital for our residents, the inhabitants of Seba and Statia, and other surrounding islands, and of course our tourists. This achievement has come about to its fullest culmination after several years of hard work, determination, perseverance, and focus on achieving this goal. The tripartite, the Ministry of VSA, SZV, and SMMC have all worked together and continuously overcome challenges of their own entities to make it possible to develop high quality, accessible and affordable healthcare on Sint Maarten. This historical signing of this agreement underscores the message of SMMC to keep first-class health and medical care close to home, and therefore eliminating the need to travel abroad for the community of Sint Maarten and surrounding islands. This will reduce the discomfort of patients and family and keep healthcare system of Sint Maarten affordable. At present, this hospital, the existing hospital, can no longer meet the growing demands of modern healthcare. Despite our best efforts to provide quality care, the building continues to be deteriorated and has proven to be far too costly to maintain in its present state. And the building was also further crippled by Hurricane Irma, what increases the need of a new hospital. A new hospital is a huge step forward for the country, and signing of this agreement with its commitment for financing is a stepping stone to establish greater healthcare and medical service on our island. We are grateful to have reached this point today. The plans for a new hospital for Sint Maarten were first visualized several years ago. Along the way, we have had several setbacks, but those have motivated everyone to continue to move forward to realize this ultimate goal, a new general hospital. Expanding the quality of healthcare available on Sint Maarten is our ultimate goal. And again, today, signing of this agreement is a huge step. But we must continue to be diligent and motivated to make the next steps before we can move into that beautiful new structure, the new General Hospital. SMMC, together with the tripartite, KPMG, the agent and you as lenders, look forward to completing those steps with great confidence and great pleasure. These moments mark the completion of a sustained effort of having a financial commitment in place. I thank Minister Emily, I thank Minister Michael Ferrier, and both their teams of course, and also the Minister of Vroming, the Director of SZV and his team, the Sint Maarten Medical Center employees, the lenders, Mr. Henk de Zijl, I mentioned him already, to make this possible. Again, this is an enormous step forward, and I can't remember that we were this far in the past, and we're going to finish this until the very far end. We are here today to make it possible to reform our healthcare. It's not only about the hospital, but to reform our health services with a new general hospital. We must bring people together to share and learn in this new hospital, to drive innovation and to deliver the best care for patients and their families. I am hopeful and I'm confident that the work of everyone here sitting at the table in this room today will contribute to go to that ultimate goal. I am indeed encouraged by the excellent step we made today. And in conclusion, I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all again, seeing you as partners to support our efforts in this important endeavor. I look forward to your continuous support. Let us work together. Let's care together, what is our slogan and has a new dimension from this day forward. to continue to provide safe and quality healthcare for the people of Sint Maarten, neighboring islands, and our too. I thank you so much.
When disaster strikes, it affects all of us.
Yeah, girl. Tell Desan to come and see me. I'll put her name at the top of the list.
You need to know that as a citizen, your rights are always protected.
I just need help.
Here, fill those out.
I have filled out this form 3 times already. I need help. This is just a waste of time.
If you feel your rights have been violated or have a legitimate complaint against any government body, even in these troubling times, we are here to listen to and act upon your concerns. The Ombudsman will use all of its resources to seek a fair resolution, keeping the government fully accountable. The Ombudsman, protecting your rights. Brought to you by the International Ombudsman Institute.
I'm a very positive thinking person, but really, I never thought this day would ever reach. There's a whole lot of work behind this going on for quite some time. It's a very special day for Sint Maarten in general, but in this case, let me get a little realistic, it's a fantastic day for SZV. SZV provides insurance. People see us as a medical institution, but we are not. We are an insurance company, and we provide health insurance. The last figures that I've seen, SZV is paying over 40 million guilders a year and growing for sending patients abroad that cannot get medical treatment in Sint Maarten. Now, if that was only the issue of having to pay 40 million guilders a year, you have to realize that we turn into a travel agency. We have to take care of airlift, airlines to get the patients to the destination. We have to make appointments and they have to match. We have to get hotels. We have to keep reckoning with the types of citizens we have in Sint Maarten. That is not always there is a visa or a correct passport. There's language barriers, there's culture barriers. It is a logistical nightmare. One airline decides not to fly, or one doctor decides to get sick, and the entire schedule is mixed up. And who gets the blame? Yes, you, yes, SZV. Because we are supposed to make sure that everything goes good, working with all the airlines and the hotels and the taxis and name it. So just the thought of our patients, our customers, being able to be treated at home, that big percentage that goes abroad, that 100%, that we could bring that down even to 50%, that someone can drive it to this new hospital, and that they wouldn't need to have a companion with it, or they could be visited during visiting hours and not having to WhatsApp us and say we need this or we need that. So while the money is of importance of this 40 million, that's besides the point. It is the logistical nightmare that we would be able to have. So for SZV, this is a dream come true, or it is a dream coming true. A whole lot of effort was put in here, and I will leave the thanking over to Minister Lee, so I don't forget any names. But I would really like to thank my staff of SZV, because yes, we're beat up on, but we take care of the sick people, the people that are ill. People don't come to us because they're happy. They come to us by ill, and then we have to take it from there. And they get beat up, sometimes fairly, and we are improving that service. But they go through a lot of stress. Another group of people I'd like to thank are the people that work in the Sint Maarten Medical Center. When I was on Laser 101 during the hurricane, trying to keep this country at ease, walking everyone through the hurricane, and after when I went out and I saw the devastation of this island, the first thought I had, wow, the hospital. Because that's where everyone will have to go who got hurt. And the staff and management and doctors and support staff working in this institution, also getting beat up by public opinion sometimes, didn't deserve that because they did their best with what they had. And I'd like to thank them also for what they did. I'd like to thank my board for putting the confidence in myself and into the project, and my investment committee. Is this a great investment? I don't know. But tell you what, it is a very good solution for SZV to try to bring that, keep that $40 million of taxpayers' money, keeping it home instead of sending it to countries abroad. So based on that alone, I think I can sleep very, very good tonight, knowing that that signature of mine is contributing to getting what St. Martin needs, a decent hospital.
You know, I think it's really important to recognize and acknowledge milestones, and today is an extremely important milestone. Today, for those of you who haven't quite followed, today we have secured the construction and development of a new St. Martin General Hospital, because the issue was never the question about whether we need a new hospital or what kind of a hospital do we need. The question has always been an issue of securing the financing to build that hospital. And that's exactly what's happened today. Today, simultaneously, in Curacao and St. Martin, the lenders have signed a commitment, a binding commitment and obligation that they will finance the construction of the hospital. There is no point of any return back. Everybody has studied the business plan. Everybody has made the determination that this is a good financial investment, and everybody has committed to financing this general hospital. So we're extremely grateful to the financiers. I want to just go into explaining a little bit about the financing. We have secured the money from a number of institutions. SZV, I have to give a special thanks to Glenn. You know, first of all, if it wasn't for SZV starting this project, we would not be here today. SZV was the only institution that put the money up to develop the project, to get it to the point where it was financeable, right? And remember, this started before my term as minister, when there was another project on the table, a no-bid project that we turned back, and that was when SZV was going to commit 189 million guilders to build that project. You know, as we came in then, we did a tender process, we did a proper terms of reference, we went through a very transparent process, brought the project down to 135 million guilders. After that, there were still financial concerns, and we looked to split the risk between, at that time it was going to be between SZV and APS, and we brought SZV's exposure down to 67.5 million guilders. And now, after Hurricane Irma, the loan has been split in half, basically between Curacao and St. Martin, and the St. Martin portion of that loan has now been split between SZV and APS, bringing SZV's exposure down now to 39 million guilders. You know, I think it sounds very simple to sum it up, but there's a tremendous amount of work that has gone into how we've financed this project. That SZV's investment, again, which was critical to start the project, has reduced from 189 million guilders down to 39 million guilders. And I think it is going to be a great investment. The financiers are looking at an average of 6% return on money. Most of the pension funds, if you look at their track records, most of them have not been performing in that range. So I think it's a good, solid investment. This is our only hospital, and I think government is committed to making sure that this is a financially viable organization. So I think your money is very secure, and I think the rate of return is a positive rate of return. So the breakdown on the loan is SZV is financing for the project. The total is 145 million guilders. SZV's contribution to the project is going to be 39 million guilders. APS is 32 million guilders. APC's portion is 25 million guilders. Vita Nova pension, fund pension is 15 million guilders. Fatum Life Guardian is 9 million guilders. Hero Bank is 8.5 million guilders. Vita Nova Bank is 7.5 million guilders. The ISLA pension fund is 7.5 million guilders. And the pension fund from Fatum is 1.5 million guilders. I think you can imagine just getting all these people in one room trying to figure out where to go to dinner would be difficult. Imagine getting all of these people as financiers together and hats off to Hank Dezieu and to NIB for helping to structure this deal together, that we could get all of the financiers on one page. And that is what this document here today signed is a reflection of. It's an agreement not only in terms of the commitments to the money, but how the monies are going to be repaid and how the money is going to be, how the payments are going to be distributed amongst the different lenders. So a lot of work has gone into where we are. I think it would be remiss of me not to mention a special thanks to Minister Gijsberta. The funds that have been invested from Curaçao, most of them have a requirement that the money needs to be invested in Curaçao. They need a special dispensation in order to make the investment in St. Martin. And without the assistance of Minister Gijsberta and with the cooperation of Council of Ministers from Curaçao, that would not have been possible. And again, you know, after Hurricane Irma, both Glenn and I have made a trip down to Curaçao to visit with the different lenders to make sure that, you know, this was all possible. So again, a special thanks to Minister Gijsberta and Council of Ministers. And I've mentioned a little bit about the key role that SFV has played in this. But I think, again, the key role that Glenn has played in this has been tremendous. You know, I remember one day I woke up and I overslept, and I picked up the phone and I said, Glenn, we're late. Glenn said, okay, wait, I'm getting ready. He's putting on his pants. And then I start showering, I start getting ready, and I said, oh my God, it's Sunday. It's not, I thought it was Monday that we had a meeting. And I call back Glenn, and Glenn said, I'm getting ready, Minister, I'm running, I'm out the door. That is the commitment that we've had to this project. Everybody has put in 200% into this project, and if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be where we are today. Also, I think a special thanks to Jim Rosen. He's in my cabinet. This has been a passion for him. As a matter of fact, it's been his primary goal as serving in the Ministry of VSA to ensure that St. Martin could build a top-notch quality hospital that could deliver quality care close to home. Some of the thanks, I think it's important, the tripartite committee, the SMMC, SFV, and the Ministry of VSA. Again, everyone has put a lot of time and energy into this. Special thanks to the board of SMMC, as well as the board of SFV and their investment committees, their respective investment committees amongst the different pension funds as well. Thanks to the staff of the hospital. I know that if you walk around, you can see the working conditions here are extremely difficult. I understand that over time they've become a little bit skeptical. They've been promised the hospital a number of times, and I do understand there's a level of skepticism, but I tell you, this hospital is going to be built. We have the commitment for the money, and the only way St. Martin's not going to build this hospital is if St. Martin stops it. All the money is there, all the financing is there, and all the ingredients that we need to break ground in the next 5 months are in the hands of St. Martin, in the hands of government. We need building permits. We need a few things to finalize before we break ground, and everything is in the hands of St. Martin. So if we don't build this hospital, it's because somehow St. Martin has stopped it. We have all the money, we have the plans, everything is ready to go. As you know, the hospital plan has adjusted a bit after Hurricane Irma. The idea was to build a main hospital building, and then we were going to build a wing attached to it. The thing is, the hospital was rated to about 160 mile-per-hour winds. Hurricane Irma obviously taught us that that standard needs to change, and we had to redo the structures for the main hospital. And for that reason, we've had to sacrifice the additional wing that we were going to build, use that money to invest in upgrading the structure of the main hospital. That's where we are today. Again, right after Hurricane Irma, we already initiated contact and discussions with Holland, explaining to them, because they were already involved somewhat in the project in terms of us looking for low-interest loans for them. They've agreed that they would look at the project. They have agreed to prioritize the project, to return the wing back to the plans in an upgraded fashion as well. They've stated to us they certainly see that it's a priority project, certainly fits into the model of building back better. They said that they would like to see a stamp of approval from World Bank. Well, just this week we received confirmation from World Bank that they've reviewed the project. They certainly see that the project's been well organized. one of the requirements is that the hospital must meet the procurement guidelines of World Bank. World Bank is a very serious international organization, and they want to ensure that the projects that they're executing and funding are credible projects, projects with integrity. Well, I tell you, and hats off, this is a hats off in particular to Hank Dezieu and to the rest of the tripartite committee. They looked at the plans, they looked at the process, the procedures, and they said, you did an excellent job. And with that, it clears the way for access to recovery funds from Holland. And I tell you, Case, we are going to get that money for the wing as well. So again, St. Martin, the hospital is coming. Thank you to everyone. This is a milestone worth celebrating. Thank you very much.